Welcome back to BSR TV for round 17 of the BSR Touring Car Championship presented by Engine Oil Direct. My name is Andrew Woodhouse and I'm joined once again by Adam Bath. We're at Spa Francorchamps for this one. Adam, we saw a great race 1, we're going to see a great race 2 here as well, I'm sure.
Yes, hello Andrew. Welcome to race 17 and what I think is going to be another frantic race. The weather has changed here at Spa. It was sunny for race 1 and now it is overcast, meaning the cars will be very loose as we head up Eau Rouge for the first time. Surely it's going to produce some fireworks.
It seemed to settle down, didn't it, in Interlagos, but we had the same problem again with one of the races there, that the cars were absolutely all over the place. It's already difficult enough to control the rear end of this Kia Optima, and we see going through even the 3rd and 4th gear corners in the warm-up, and it's going to cause serious trouble for the drivers, Adam. We've got the sorry, I've just interrupted myself there a little bit there. Got the reverse grid order, which I'll just read out and then I'll hand over to Adam for the ES Trophy standings. We've got Daniel Craft taking the reverse grid pole after the roll of the magic dice, then Robert Plumley in 2nd, Andrew Whitehead in 3rd, Steve Hefford 4th, then Dan Blake, Linus Brostrom, Aaron Gearing, Ben Gregory's 8th, Richard Wildknight, Stefano Giuriali 10th. You've got Adam Terry 11th, Jamie Rushworth in 12th, Simon Field 13th, Graham Carroll 14th, Jeroen Kaiser 15th, David Baker, Jacobo Lopez, Stefan Hoog, Wojciech Swidovic and Matt Walker was actually 20th, Adam. So somebody must have lost a place at the end of race 1.
Yeah, so that is your reverse grid. The Drivers' Championship, after 16 races, Wojciech Swidovic has extended his lead after taking that win over Stefan Hoog. He's now leading by 145 points. Jamie Rushworth is now over 200 points back, with Field in 4th, and David Baker gaining 2 spots with that 4th place, and he's now sitting in 5th position. Now looking at the ES Trophy, now this is for the Pro-Am drivers. Ben Gregory leads the 2 Lugnuts cars of Aaron Gearing and Matt Walker, and Steve Walker is now up into 4th place. He manages to get past Robert Graham, who had a bit of a nightmare in race 1, and then rounding out the top 10 in the ES Trophy, Nils Jordan for Karsha in 6th, Robert Burton in 7th, Whitehead in 8th, Steve Hefford in 9th, and then in 10th place for Lugnuts Racing is Julian Janowski. Yeah, my overlay was in front of the of the standing, so I couldn't see he was in 10th place. So Julian Janowski rounds out the top 10 in the ES Trophy as we are now gridding for race 2.
Yeah, thanks very much, Adam, for that. Who do you think is going to come out on top here? We've got a really obviously the grid's mixed up. Got to look at the front row, I think here. Craft and Plumley, they've got good pace underneath them with the Engine Oil Direct and the CQR car respectively. I think they're going to be the favourites. What about you?
Yeah, I think with Craft's Engine Oil Direct and CQR with Robert Plumley, I think there's definitely going to be some problem for the rest of the field to stop them. But we've seen in most of the races this season the likes of Hoog and Svidovic fighting their way through and ending up battling for the lead. So I might say that we'll see, I think we might see Stefan Hoog win race 2. So we're going to make sure that we keep an eye out for any contacts happening at the back. There was of course a big crash at the start of race 1 that we didn't see because we were focusing on the battle for the lead. So the cars are gridding up now, Andrew, and we're getting ready for the start.
They are indeed, Adam. Dissipation is building here. You see revs already rising. Andrew Whitehead hasn't taken to the grid. It's Daniel Craft on pole position. The green light comes on and he gets away really well from the 1st position. And you see Robert Plumley in 2nd. Already Craft actually Hefford's already covering, and there's contact through Eau Rouge between Craft and Hefford, and Plumley spinning again like he was in Interlagos. Rushworth is through the carnage. Oh, and a few people haven't got through it. Yeah, including, I think, was Ashley Sutton one of those.
We're still green, so Dan Craft leads.
Janowski up and over.
Lugnuts Racing 2nd and 4th. And an Elite 220 car is up into 3rd place. It's Jamie Rushworth. So Jamie Rushworth managed to benefit from that brilliantly. Wojciech Swidovic is in 7th place. Aaron Gearing in 4th. But Dan Craft still maintains the lead. Graham Carroll's in 5th. I'm just looking to see if anyone big is involved.
Sutton with massive damage. Oh, and there's a crash up at Lecum as well. And that was Vittorio Saltalamacchia. And also Hefford.
And Katz is involved as well.
Katz is out of the race.
and Lopez in 8th, so he managed to get through. I'm looking for Stefan Hoog on my timing screens. I don't know where he is. Maybe you can find him on yours, Andrew, but I don't think he's on there at the moment.
Hoog is there. He's in 17th position, so he's still in the race. I'm just going to go through, if possible, the walking wounded Saltalamakia is in big trouble. Also then David Brock, he's got damage. Matt Walker has damage. Then there's a car spun in the middle of Pouon. That's a Karcher car. That is Eckhart von Glan. And John Roberts just hit him. All sorts of bother for Eckhart von Glan there.
And Robert Plumley's around as well in the Fania chicane. More damage for him. There's
no grip anyway, Adam, is there, in this cloudy condition? And a lot of these cars being damaged, it just makes it a lot worse. I mean, crazy start, disastrous almost.
Yeah, the drivers
we knew it would happen.
The drivers need to get air into their tyres, and we saw it in Interlagos when it was overcast conditions. What can happen? So let's take stock then. End of the first lap, Dancraft leads. Second place, Jamie Rushworth. Third place, Linus Bostrom. Fourth, Graham Carroll. And in fifth place is his teammate, Wojciech Savidovic. And rounding out the top 10 is Richard Wild, Adeko Lopez, Stefan Hoog, David Baker, and Russell Laidler.
I don't know about getting air into the tyres. I think some of the drivers have got too much air in their heads after the first lap. I think there was... I think in this condition, Adam, do you have to be more careful than some of these guys were?
Yeah, I think that's really what we saw. Maybe they were used to the grippy track surface in race 1, and then it came as a shock to them in race 2. So that's probably what was happened, and it's definitely spread out the field now, because the top 10 is separated by around 13 seconds as we head up to Les Combes for the second time. What
a great start for Rushworth though. 10 places, 12th to second place, and Linus Bostrom was 6th, he's now 3rd. Graham Carroll 14th to 4th, Savidovic 19th to 5th. These championship contenders always seem to find their way through. Is now Adeko Lopez trying to go around the outside of Richard Wild into Rivage. Wild is going to try to force him wide here.
And Richard Wild, of course, has got definite damage to the front of his car. Don't know whether that's slowing the car down, but it definitely allows Adeko Lopez through up into 6th place now.
Wild won here last year, didn't he?
Yeah, Richard Wild won race 3. He was driving for eBay Motors at that time, a top team. So he's now driving for DEG, and he's now definitely down to 7th place, and is coming under pressure from Stefan Hoog as we head through Pouon.
Disaster as well for, I know we mentioned it, but disaster for Ashley Sutton. This day is going from bad to worse for him. Andreas Katz as well. It's really affecting the championship, some of these dodgy starts, Adam.
Yeah, I think that might be the end of Andreas Katz's championship campaign. I saw him in the driver chat before the race started saying that his season is effectively over, and that crash basically added insult to injury. Battle for 3rd place heating up between Bostrom and Carroll. They are pretty close as we head through Blanchemont and down to the bus stop. Will the Apex Racing TV car be able to get past the Lugnuts car?
Well, a couple of Apex Racing TV cars in a line as well as Bostrom goes a little bit wide through Blanchemont. Look at Graham Carroll, and look how brave he is on the brakes against Linus. Linus goes, he has to turn into the bus stop. He's also been passed by Savidovic, so and Lopez is going to go through as well. So Bostrom not having a good couple of corners there, down to 5th place.
Yeah, I don't know whether Bostrom was just being a little bit cautious, but he's now dropped down quite a few places as we head into La Source, and Lopez still hasn't been able to get by yet. Let's see if he can out of the exit of La Source and down to Eau Rouge. No, he's back behind the Lugnuts car. So down to Eau Rouge on lap 3. Will Lopez be able to get the run through Eau Rouge and get that move done into Les Combes? Let's find out now. We've got a DEG car going back onto the circuit. I think that might be Adam Terry, but as we head through Radion up to Les Combes, Lopez has got the inside line, and the Lugnuts car of Linus Bostrom lets the reigning champion through into 5th position.
Richard Wild is getting overtaken by Stefan Hoog as well. Stefan Hoog round the outside into Les Combes, a little leaves the nose in a little bit, does Wild, and Baker's hoping to follow him through, but he can't quite yet. He might have a chance down into Rivage, and he does. He's got a really good run. Going to be a brave man who has to dive into there though.
And Rushworth's taking the lead. Rushworth is in the lead. He's managed to get past Dancraft. I don't know how it happened. Hopefully, and Alex will be able to get a replay for us to have a look at it. But Jamie Rushworth after having a bit of a bad race one. He had a bit of contact, ended up finishing in 8th position. This is definitely putting him back in the championship hunt. He's now in the lead.
Move was done into the bus stop, Adam, on the previous lap, so been in the lead for quite a while, Rushworth, before we caught that, so apologies to the viewers for not spotting that one, but there was so much else going on behind in that group. From third to about 9th, as Sridovic now is having a look at Carroll, and I wonder if Carroll's going to play the team game here. Allow Wojciech to go through, because I think Wojciech could catch Kraft and maybe even Rushworth.
Yes, we do not want a Mercedes situation as we head through Stavolo and down to Blanchemont. And look, Svidovic's eagerness has allowed Lopez to get onto the back of him. So Lopez is the reigning champion, and Svidovic has to defend the inside line, and he's just going to have enough room to get back onto the racing line into Blanchemont. Will Lopez try and get the move done into the bus stop? Lopez finished 3rd in race 1. He'll hopefully be trying to finish a bit higher, and Svidovic nearly runs into the back of his teammate there going into the bus stop chicane. Lopez gets a bit of a run, nearly goes into the back of Svidovic. He's got a good run and a good slipstream as we head down the front straight. 5 laps to go here. Can Lopez get it done into La Source?
Very short race when you say 5 laps to go already, but yeah, into La Source we've got the battle going on. Carroll, Sridovic, Lopez. Lopez got a great run out of La Source though, and he's going to be side by side with Sridovic down towards Eau Rouge. Who's going to be braver?
Yes, it's a bit like Mark Webber and Fernando Alonso here. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? And Lopez sensibly gets out of it. Svidovic had the line there.
Lopez's run is brilliant though.
Yes, here he comes. He's got a fantastic run. It's going to be hard for Svidovic to stop him. Svidovic might try and ease him out to the outside, but we saw how Hug managed to go around the outside of Svidovic in race 1 and take the lead. Svidovic and Lopez side by side.
Lopez getting slipstream from Carroll, Adam.
Yes, and he's done it. Hug watching in the background with eagerness, hoping to see them both go off. But Lopez is now up into 4th place, and Svidovic is down to 5th and into the clutches of Stefan Hug.
Right, Wild still there as well, with his damaged car, and you've got David Baker in 8th position. Linus Broström is 9th, so I think Linus is just struggling for pace, if I'm honest, in this race. He's trying to keep it as clean as he can. In 10th place is Russell Laidler, but he's quite a way behind. He's 6 seconds behind Broström. Then you've got Ben Gregory, Pete Newman. Good run for Pete Newman in 12th place actually at the moment. Simon Field 13th. Then Robert Burton is 14th. So here they give that 7-year warranty out. I think about 20 drivers avoided that in the first lap contact, Adam.
Yeah, you're right there, Andrew. We saw quite a few cars involved in that pile-up. I think we've got around about quite a few of the field out. About nearly 10 cars have DNF'd in this race. Hopefully we'll see them back for race 3, of course, to score another strong result. Jamie Rushworth, though, checking out at the moment. He's got 1 second lead over Dan Kraft with Carroll in 3rd, Lopez in 4th. And one of the CQR's cars has just gone off in front of me. Russell Laidler, yeah. So, but another bad result for a CQR car. They're having a nightmare of a race, Andrew.
Yeah, Plumley went off. Was it Stavolo? And we've lost Malensky, Ellis Stevens, Saltalamacchia, Katz, Richardson, Hunt, Giuliani, Steve Walker. Plumley is out as well. John Roberts we've lost. Matt Walker's 2 laps down. And Steve Hefford is the last car running. He's 28th. He's 1 lap down. If he finishes 1 lap down, he will collect championship points. But looking at that car, well, it's not going to be the easiest task ever in the world.
And a big battle now brewing up for 5th place between Svidovic and Hug. And look in the background, that's in 7th place. Richard Wild, he wants to be at the action as well. Will Hug be able to pay Svidovic back for what happened in race 1? Let's find out. We're heading through Eau Rouge, and in front of them another important battle for 3rd place between Carroll and Lopez. So out of Eau Rouge, through Radion and up to Les Combes. We're going to try and focus on both of those battles as we head through down the long back straight. They're all going to the inside line to protect the inside line there, and Lopez is going to go and try and go around the outside of Carroll. He outbrakes himself though. He surely is going to have to go off, and look at Svidovic. He gets past Carroll and gets run into the back of by Stefan Hug. It's all going a bit crazy here as we head through Malmedy and down to problem. Is that a problem for Svidovic?
Yeah, it could be. I think it is. It might have been a slowdown penalty through Les Combes. That might have been for... I wonder if it was cutting the inside curb a little bit there. And so we've got Hug and Carroll and Wild and Baker and Svidovic all in a line.
And Carroll is coming under immense pressure now from Wild as we head down to Pouon and Baker. And Baker is having to defend from Savidovic as we head through the left-hander at Pouon. It's all, yeah.
Go on.
Through the left-hander, yeah, down to the Fania chicane. We're entering the closing stages of this race. When we get to the line, it'll be 3 laps to go, and Carroll is slimly holding on ahead of the DG car. It looks a bit like of a miscommunication in Lacon between the Apex Racing TV cars, because we saw Graham Carroll suddenly slow, and then Savidovic ran into the back of him. I don't know whether Carroll's trying to let him through, but something definitely went wrong there for Graham Carroll.
Alex will out be having his hand over the sack button any minute as Coba Lopez has now managed to escape from this group. So Coba Lopez onto the podium at the moment, and then it's Hoog in 4th, 5th is Carroll, 6th is Wild, 7th Baker, and 8th Savidovic. So Savidovic down in 8th place. He's losing points, valuable points to Stefan Hoog at the moment, Adam, with just what is 3 laps to go at the end of this one.
Yeah, I think he'll be a bit confident, though. He had a 145-point lead over Stefan Hoog, and at the moment Hoog's only in 4th position, and with Rushworth winning, surely it won't be too bad for his championship aspirations. But it's going to be interesting to see if Savidovic can work his way back up through that pack. I don't know whether he sustains any damage in hitting Carroll, or getting any damage when he got hit at the back by Stefan Hoog. So let's see if he can get past the cars in front. The next opponent for him is 7th place David Baker, and then after that it'll be Richard Wild. So let's see if we can get those places back.
Jamie Rushworth hasn't completely got rid of Daniel Kraft. Only 1.3 seconds between them, and I believe that Kraft has made up some of that then down towards Lecombe then, as they've just lapped Ashley Sutton. So Sutton is 25th. He will get points for that position if he can stay on that very lap, as Coba Lopez in 3rd place. Stefan Hoog now up into 4th, so Hoog definitely will be pushing on, see if he can get on the podium here, and that'll be important for him. As you can see then, battle through Malmedy.
Yeah, and they're nearly going to go 3 abreast. That's Baker and the DEG car, and that's Savidovic trying to get past as well. Down the inside, Richard Wild goes. He won race 3 and he shoves David Baker out of the way. And Savidovic will be trying to get as much as he can from this, but he doesn't want to get involved in any contacts. He's going to try and go around the outside of Baker. He puts all 4 wheels off the track. David Baker doesn't leave him just enough room. And as we head down to Pouon, Baker surely will have the inside line and the momentum as we head through the left-hander. Yes, he does. Baker holds on to a 7th place.
Driving by David Baker, who didn't get rattled by that little bit of contact through Rivage. We might need to defend up into the chicane here as Savidovic is having a look, but very difficult to pass. Short braking area into the Fanias chicane then, as Richard Wild leads this trio through. You can see just in front of them then Stefan Hoog. He's coming under pressure from Graham Carroll, who his pace seems to be on and off, Adam, but it is there, isn't it?
Yeah, Graham Carroll doing another brilliant job for Apex Racing TV up inside the top 5 once again. This is certainly helping their championship aspirations in the team championship. Coming into the race meeting, Apex Racing TV were sitting in 6th place and were behind the likes of DEG and Lugnut. So this great performance by Graham Carroll will help their team's championship immensely as we're about to start the penultimate lap.
Yeah, Coba Lopez, I believe he's just set the fastest lap of the race with a 226.543. That's nearly a second quicker than our leader Jamie Rushworth.
Stefan Hoog, he can't rest easy here because he's definitely coming under pressure from Graham Carroll as we come across the line. The lap times were Stefan Hoog did a 2 minute 26.7, and 5th place man Graham Carroll did a 2 minute 26.6, so 1/10 quicker. Will that be enough for him to get a run through Eau Rouge and a tow up to Lacon to get that position off Stefan Hoog? We're about to find out. In front of us is the CQR car of Ashley Sutton. He's too far ahead for us to get any slipstream benefit. Stefan Hoog has a bit of a wobble there through Eau Rouge. They both got just as good as a run as each other, so it's going to be hard for Graham Carroll to get the move done into Lacon. Let's see if he can. He tries to get into the slipstream, but I think, Andrew, he is too far back to get the move done.
He is indeed. I'll tell you who isn't though. David Baker's not too far back to get a run on Richard Wild, and Baker's no doubt going to try around the outside of Lacombe then, and he does make it. So good driving from Baker, nice move, gets himself up into the top 6 again. P6 is customary position, but he does deserve that one. He's battled back quite well there.
Yes, and now let's see if Richard Wild can hold off Wojciech Savidovic. We're about halfway round the penultimate lap, so 1.5 laps to go now. He's definitely going to have to try and defend. But once again, though, Andrew, he's right onto the back of David Baker and is trying to get that place back. So Richard Wild doing a sterling effort here in a car that's definitely wounded as we head through Pouon. It's at certain points of the lap he's under pressure from Savidovic, and once again Savidovic gets a good run through Pouon. Maybe the car's understeering a bit too much in the DG cars. Wild has to defend the inside line going into the Fania chicane. Savidovic is definitely losing some time here, stuck behind him.
Wild's been about 2 seconds a lap slower than the front runners, so we will see then that rising that he's back on the tail of David Baker, and Baker isn't managing to pull away. But again, the slipstream effect is very powerful here at Spa, this Belgian circuit, and you can see Savidovic is looking to try and maximise his points output, because every point counts for the championship. We mentioned consistency. Yes, 8th place is good points, but he'll be wanting 6th, no doubt about that, as he come down towards the bus stop. Going through Blanchimont now. And is Richard Wild going to have a go, or is he going to accept that he is a slower driver than Baker on this day?
He slots right behind him, nearly goes into the back, but he's definitely holding on to that 7th place. I think he should have a go. As you can see, that understeers wide over the AstroTurf. We are now on the final lap of the race.
Wojciech might have a look into La Source, Adam, sorry. Thinking that he wasn't a very good run by Wild. He might be in a bit of bother as we go up the hill.
Yeah, and he takes a wide line and cuts right onto the apex through La Source. That will definitely set him up for a run through Eau Rouge and up to Les Combes. Let's see if he can get it done now. He needs to get a good run through Eau Rouge, the 3 of them going line astern. Will that make him understeer wide? He gets a good run and yes, hits that curve brilliantly. And with Richard Wild going wide, that's surely going to allow Savidovic to have the straight line speed advantage. Let's find out now. Savidovic looks to the inside line. Oh, they're not moving over yet. Richard Wild moves over now, and Savidovic has to cut back to the outside line, and it's going to try and go around the outside.
Oh, and he's outbraked himself!
Oh no! He hits
Wild
Baker.
hits Baker. Baker manages to survive that one, actually. But is he going to get a slowdown penalty?
Oh, he's back on the track.
And he takes it right in front of Wild, who has been punted by Savidovic. In a way, justice has kind of been served there in the most crude of manners outside of the cup.
We saw that happen in the GP2 race at Monza. He just floored it through the chicane like on a PlayStation game or something, and just emerged right in front of them and caused carnage behind. Savidovic is now up into 7th place. Richard Wild got disqualified for that, so not good. That's not good.
I mean, he made a mistake, and I don't believe it was an intentional move into Les Combes to break that late, but. Then, unfortunately, I don't know, intentionally or not, Baker took the slowdown penalty right on the apex of Malmedy. There was nowhere really for Richard Wild to go, but it was a good effort by him. Unfortunately, he's not going to get anything for it, as that means that Savidovic is now up into 7th, and Baker should be safe, as we've got Rushworth then coming through Blanchimont, Adam.
Yes, he won here last year for the Movie Go. That he was the reigning champion then of the series, but he's starting to make quite a habit of this. He won at Interlagos in race 1 after Lopez kindly moved out of the way on the last lap, but he's going to take another win to move him back into the championship hunt, Andrew.
He is indeed, and Lopez is right there with Kraft. Look at that at the end, look how much he made up. The Kraft takes 2nd, Lopez in 3rd, Hoog then in 4th position. 5th for Graham Carroll. Good result again for Apex Racing TV. And Baker in 6th again. 7th time he's finished in 6th position this season. And then you've got Wojciech Savidovic in 7th place. 8th is going to be Laidler. That's quite a good performance from Russell, as he was well down the grid. He was 28th, so that's nice from him getting into the top 10. Gives himself a real shot at race 3. Simon Field finishes 9th ahead of Linus Broström, who just pipped Jeroen Kaiser by 5/100ths of a second. Ben Gregory 12th. Pete Newman 13th. That's probably his best result of the season. Good effort. Richard Wild 14th. Well, he's not. He's been disqualified. Robert Graham 14th. Then 15th for Gordon Wilson. So it's a better day for Laser Tools. Robert Burton in 16th. Dan Blake in 17th, I believe. And then Julian Janowski. And then David Brock is going to be the last man who's going to be eligible for the reverse grid pole, Adam.
Yes, he is, and he's definitely nursing a wounded car as he's not even crossed the line yet. And is that Andrew Whitehead closing in? So he definitely needs to put the foot down now as we head into the bus stop for the final time. Will Whitehead get it done? Brock, you've just got to get it through the final apex. He's going to understeer wide, and look at Whitehead launches it over the curb, but he's not going to get it done in time. Brock takes a 20th place and a shot at that race 3 pole, but that was definitely close there.
That was good stuff at the end from Whitehead. He's had a good meeting today. I must admit he's been. I don't think he's going to really mind me telling everybody he's had quite a poor season, and there's definitely been better. He's had a couple of top 20 finishes, and that's what he's needed.
Yeah, so
that's what CQR need, and CQR I've had a terrible meeting this week so far.
Yeah, they were third in the teams championship going into this race meeting, but I think they might have lost that by the end of tonight. But what a race of attrition. Only 22 cars finished, sorry, only 21 cars finished on the lead lap out of the 39 cars that started. That's been quite a race of attrition there, Andrew.
Wasn't it? Was all caused by the start. Alex, I don't know if you've got a replay of the start for us, mate. You can talk us through it from your perspective. What exactly went wrong there?
Yeah, let's see if I can bring that back up. I know sometimes the overlay's a little bit sketchy. Let's just see.
Very interesting start. Let's say as we go through to the have a look. Front row. Daniel Kraft was on it, but it was the car of Robert Plumley, I think, that we need to concentrate on. And Alex Plumley made a mess of it at Interlagos as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Sorry, sadly it looks like I'm not going to be able to bring the start replay up again. Just the overlay just playing funny on us, so something I hope that they fix with the new build.
I'll try and give everyone a picture if they can't really see it at home. But Robert unfortunately lost it going through Eau Rouge, and then one of the Engine All Direct cars also lost it. So Steve Hefford went sideways, but Hefford was in the middle of the track, and then you had a couple of guys in fact behind. Looked like Adam. I don't know if you have this. You have the start up at all, but
I've got to start back. I've finally got it up. It takes a little while for the session to process through far enough, but yeah, actually there was I mean there was a lot of crashes going on even before they reached Eau Rouge as well, much like race 1. So yeah, we're just having a little replay now, and yeah, I've set it to crash cam again just to see what goes off, but it avoids what, yeah, so there's a big 4-car pile-up before they even get to Eau Rouge.
Yes, involving one of the Karsha cars and a few of the Elite 220 cars.
And then I'm not really I'm not really sure what happens going through Eau Rouge, to be honest. There is cars absolutely everywhere. I
think it looks
wow.
I think it looked like that it looked like everybody was just having their own accident, down to the tyre model, if I'm honest, or the way that the tyres hadn't warmed up. Plumley lost it on his own, and then although there was an accident there between so Hefford was turned around by Linus, so that's what really started it all off, I think. But then the Dan Blake lost it on his own.
So I see what actually happened with the couple of guys just failed to get it off the start-finish line or off the grid stalls, and that's what caused the carnage initially. Yeah, and
who was that then?
I tell you what, there's like 3 or 4, maybe no, make that about 5 or 6 separate incidents going through Eau Rouge with people just losing the back end and then people running into the back of them.
Juriali went off, and then he came back onto the track again and took another couple of people out, and it was a big mess.
It's going to be interesting though if we get this overcast conditions again for race 3, whether the same's going to happen.
I tell you, I wouldn't like to be, Adam. I agree with that point. I wouldn't like to be the stewards after this, because we're going to get a few back of the grid penalties, I'd be thinking.
You know what? The cars must be a right handful. I'm just watching. I'm not sure who that was. I'm sure they wouldn't want me to name them either. But just going into Lecombe, car clearly survived. There was no damage on it whatsoever. But braked to go into Lecombe turn 1 and just instantly hit the wall. So yeah, there must be an absolute nightmare to drive with these overcast conditions. And
there were two. I think there were 2 of them actually who did that, and I just said that they'd had the crash together because they ended up together in the same place off the track.
But actually,
they hadn't hit each other.
Yeah, crazy.
We're laughing, but again, I think if we were involved in this race, guys, I think we'd be thinking the same thing. Adam, it's treacherous conditions out there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and that's what you get for racing at Spa. And with that Eau Rouge corner, it's inevitable. It's gonna happen. And on top of that, we've got a reverse grid to do for race 3.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm sure the admins are wondering where that is at the moment. So yeah, let's do our token 3 test rolls. Up first, we got 17, followed by 19, and then 15. So the one that matters is 18. Who finished 18th?
Julian Janowski. So Janowski will go on to pole position with Dan Blake. Wasn't he up front in race 2? He's starting second with Rob Burton 3rd, Gordon Wilson 4th, Robert Graham in 5th, Pete Newman in 6th, Ben Gregory 7th, Kaiser 8th, Bostrom in 9th, and Simon Field in 10th. So quite a few unknowns in that top 10. And if these overcast conditions are here again, Andrew, that's surely going to cause even more carnage into Eau Rouge.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think we're going to have a bit more caution, hopefully, in the next race. But interesting with Dan Blake, he went into he was 5th on the grid, and he was one of the ones who lost it into Eau Rouge, had a crash, managed to finish 17th, and now he's on the front row. He must not be able to believe his luck.
Yes, yeah. So what a crazy race, and I think it's going to get even more crazy in race 3.
I don't think you could dissect that start anymore and actually understand what happened with everyone. But
yeah, I don't even know how I'm going to write a race report on it.
We might have to. Yeah, you might have to have a little. You might have to write a novel about that one. But anyway. So that was brilliant though. Anyway, it was a very good race, and nevertheless, and we once again saw the championship contenders moving forward. Adam, just before we go, what is it about those guys where they can just seem to get through whatever carnage comes their way?
Yeah, they just seem to position their car at the right time. They managed to get the right balance between braking and accelerating, stop the car locking up and spinning around, which we saw quite a bit of in the Kia Optima, and also stay out of trouble and miss the kind of wrecks that we saw at the end between the likes of Baker and Wild. So, and also they watched the incident points as well. So they've all got to factor all of that in, and that's why they're at the top of the championship.
They are. Can they stay there? Well, we're going to find out very, very shortly. So join us again in about a quarter of an hour when we're going to have. Oh, it's going to be round 18 from Spa Francorchamps. Julian Janowski is on pole. We'll see you guys very soon on BSRTV.
Guys, you there?